Greetings, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to our Touchmark Tuesday Trivia. I'm Nanette Whitman-Holmes, your Life Enrichment Director, and thank you so much for joining me today to play trivia. I'm happy to have you. There are some very, very simple rules for Touchmark Trivia. Actually, the rules aren't really rules. I just want you to play along and have fun. But if you would like to follow along, you certainly can. The one thing that we do is ask 4 rounds of 10 questions around. You just write down the answers. We go back, we self-correct. You keep track of your score. You can pick up an official answer sheet down by the front desk near the mailbox area. Or if you just have a plain piece of paper, write your answers down on that. This makes it a little bit easier to keep track of your rounds. You're welcome to use this. You're welcome to just write down your answers. I don't care. I would love to have these turned into me so that I can give you a prize for participating. I don't care if you miss every single question. There's no extra credit for getting everything right or for missing every single one. Just prove to me that you kind of followed along and watched and had a great time while we were doing it. So answer sheets look like that. The biggest rule is just to have fun. We play every Tuesday at 4 o'clock, and then we replay the same program on Thursday at 4 o'clock. If you miss it on Tuesday, you can catch it up on Thursday. And even if you play on Thursday and turn in an answer sheet to me, I still give you a prize. Although there's some people that don't want a prize, just make a note of that, and I won't give you a prize, but I'll send you a thank you note for playing along. So with that, we are going to start our Tuesday trivia, our first 10 questions. So this is round 1. Question number 1. What is the best type of grain that's used for brewing beer? They grow a lot of it in Montana and Wyoming. All right, so that's question number 1. What is the best type of grain that's used for brewing beer? Maybe it's the traditional. What is the traditional grain that they use to brew beer? That's question number 1. All right, question number 2. What species of fish are also known as kippers? I think they have kippers for breakfast in England. I don't like kippers, I don't think. Oh, I like kipper snacks. Okay, so question number 2. What species of fish are also known as kippers? So kippers, what would we call kippers? What kind of fish is in a kipper? All right, number 3. What distinctive feature does a Manx cat not have? So question number 3. What distinctive feature does a Manx cat not have? I think Manx is like from the Isle of Man. If you're from the Isle of Man, you're Manx. So cats from that island, what distinctive feature don't they have? That's question 3. All right, question number 4. What type of music is the state of Kentucky known for? Question number 4. What type of music is the state of Kentucky known for? That's question 4. All right, question number 5. Donatello and Michelangelo both sculpted what famous king of Israel? So Donatello and Michelangelo both sculpted what famous king of Israel? That's question 5. All right, question number 6. Which building in London, England, lies at precisely 0 degrees longitude? What's the name of that building? So which building in London, England, lies at precisely 0 degrees longitude? Not latitude, longitude. All right, that's question 6. Question number 7. Horseshoe Falls and Rainbow Falls make up another feature that's known by what name? So that's question number 7. Horseshoe Falls and Rainbow Falls make up what other large feature? What's the name of that large feature? Right, that's number 7. Question number 8. Which American president was the first president to appear on television? Well, you should kind of have an idea, rough estimate when that would have been. So, question number 8. Which American president was the first to appear on TV? Which one? Right, that's number 8. Question number 9. Which classic Christmas film claimed that every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings? You remember the little girl saying that? All right, so in what movie would you find that saying? So question number 9 is, which classic Christmas film claimed that every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings? What film is that from? All right, question 10, last question of the round. Name the Danish writer who created The Ugly Duckling and other children's tales. What's the name of that Danish writer? So, name the Danish writer who created The Ugly Duckling and other children's tales. Write his name down. All right, that was question number 10. So now we're going to go back. I'll give you the answers. You just self-correct, mark the ones you got right, cross out the ones you got wrong, circle that number at the bottom. All right, so question number 1, I asked you, what is the best type of grain that's used for brewing beer? If you're a good Montanan, you know that's barley. Barley. I know they make wheat beer and all the other beers, but barley is the one. So question 1, barley. Number 2, what species of fish are also known as kippers? Kippers are herring. Who knew? Herring are kippers. So that's question number 2. Question number 3, what species, question 3 was, what distinctive feature does a Manx cat not have? Manx cats don't have tails. They have like a little stumpy tail spot. But a Manx cat is a tailless cat, so they don't have a tail. All right, number 4, what type of music is the state of Kentucky known for? Kentucky is known for bluegrass. You knew that. Bluegrass is the answer to number 4. Number 5, Donatello and Michelangelo both sculpted what famous king of Israel? David, statue of David. So David was the king of Israel that they sculpted, both of them. All right, number 6, which building in London, England, and yes, you're going to tell me it's not in London, it's in Greenwich, but which building in London, England lies at precisely 0 degrees longitude? That would be the Greenwich Observatory. That's the name of the building, the Greenwich Observatory. I don't know, maybe it's in Greenwich, but it says London. My question said London, England. So, all right, number 7. Horseshoe Falls and Rainbow Falls make up which large waterfall? They make up Niagara Falls. So Niagara Falls is the answer to number 7. Number 8, which American president was the first one to appear on TV? You probably guessed this. It was in the 30s, Franklin Roosevelt. So Franklin Roosevelt is the answer to number 8. Number 9, which classic Christmas film claimed that every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings? Classic. It's like the number 1 Christmas film. It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart. It's a Wonderful Life is the answer to number 9. And number 10, name the Danish writer who created The Ugly Duckling and other children's tales. Hans Christian Andersen is his name. He's got the Little Mermaid statue in Copenhagen's Bay or something like that. So Hans Christian Andersen is the answer to number 10. All right, that was our first round. I'll get rid of that one. And we will go on to round 2. So get your pencils ready. Take a little breath. Get ready for my next one. I know my hair. We did exercise earlier and my hair is a mess. That's okay. All right. Question number 1, round 2. What material is a xylophone traditionally made of? You've seen people playing the xylophone like that. What is a xylophone traditionally made of? What material? That's question number 1. All right, question number 2. Following the Vietnam War, what was Saigon renamed? So question number 2, following the Vietnam War, the city of Saigon was renamed. What was it renamed following the war? That's question 2. All right, question number 3. Near which town were there reports of a spaceship landing on July 4th, 1947? What famous American town? I gave you a clue, it's American. 1947. Famous space. Yeah, anyway, that's a question. Number 3. Near which town were there reports of a spaceship landing on July 4th, 1947? All right, question number 4. Where did Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin meet in 1945 to plan the final defeat of Germany? That's question number 4. Where did Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin meet in 1945 to plan the final defeat of Germany? It's a very famous meeting and a very famous town. Well, the town's famous because of that meeting. All right, number 5. Who followed Calvin Coolidge as U.S. president? Who came after Coolidge? That's my question number 5. What president followed Calvin Coolidge? That's number 5. All right, number 6. Another person. Who was the first American to travel faster than the speed of sound? What's the name of the guy that broke the sound barrier for the first time? I want to say it was like back in 57 or so. It was in the 50s. Anyway, very famous guy. As soon as you hear the answer, you're going to know. So, question 6. Who was the first American to travel faster than the speed of sound? All right, number 7. What nickname was given to the group of performers which included Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., and Frank Sinatra? What did we call that group of performers? That's question number 7. What was the nickname given to Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., and Frank Sinatra? All right, question number 8. What is the, I'm going to quote here, lead in lead pencils actually made of? So there's no longer lead in lead pencils, but the lead in a pencil, I don't even think I have a pencil to show you. This is a pencil. What is the lead in lead pencils actually made of? What material is now there? That's question number 8. All right, question number 9. What are the first names of the 2 Williams sisters who were famous international tennis players? What are their first names? The Williams sisters that play tennis. What are their first names? All right, that was question number 9. Question number 10. Google Chrome, Safari, Firefox, and Explorer are different types of what? What do we call it? What are they all? They're all this. So question number 10. Google Chrome, Safari, Firefox, and Explorer are all different types of what? What are they? That's question 10. All right. Write that answer down. Let's go back and review. So question number 1, I asked, what material is a xylophone traditionally made of? Xylophones are traditionally made of wood. So wood is the answer to number 1. Number 2, following the Vietnam War, what was Saigon renamed? So the city of Saigon, they renamed it. And what did they rename it? Oh, the answer to that, Ho Chi Minh City. I don't know if it's still that today. I'd have to Google that. So anyway, the answer to number 2, Ho Chi Minh City. Question number 3. You knew this one. Near which town were there reports of a spaceship landing on the 4th of July in 1947? Roswell, New Mexico is the answer to that. They're famous for having that landing. Well, supposed landing. So Roswell, New Mexico is the answer to number 3. All right, number 4. Where did Churchill, Stalin, and Roosevelt meet in 1945 to plan the final defeat of Germany? They met at Yalta, the Yalta Convention, so that they could figure out how to defeat Germany. So Yalta is the answer to number 4. Number 5, who followed Calvin Coolidge as president? Who was the next president after Coolidge? Herbert Hoover. A chicken in every pot. Isn't that Hoover? Chicken in every pot. Teapot Dome scandals, Hoover. All right, so Herbert Hoover is the answer to number 5. All right, number 6. Who was the first American to travel faster than the speed of sound? Chuck Yeager. You knew that. Chuck Yeager is the answer to that. Number 6. Number 7. What nickname was given to the group of performers, which included Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., and Frank Sinatra? Together, they were known as the Rat Pack. So the Rat Pack is the answer to number 7. Number 8. What is the lead in a lead pencil actually made of? It's not made of lead. It's made of graphite. So our lead pencils, our number 2 pencils, don't have lead. They have graphite in them to write. So that's the answer to number 8. Number 9, what are the first names of the 2 Williams sisters who were famous international tennis players? The 2 Williams sisters are Venus and Serena. Venus and Serena are the answers to number 9. Number 10, last question. Google Chrome, Safari, Firefox, and Explorer are all types of what? They are all web browsers. So you open up Google Chrome so that you can research things or go to different websites. So they are web browsers. All right, that's the end of round 2. Round 3 is going to be a little bit different. I am going to read you a famous quote from a famous American, and I want you to identify who said the famous quote. They're all really famous. This should be fairly easy. Well, I think it's easy, but it might not be. So I'm going to read the quote, and you write down who said it. All right, quote number 1. Who said this? One small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. What famous American said that? That's question 1. One small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. Who said that? All right. Quote number 2. Who said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself? I didn't say it like that person said it, but who said that? The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Famous American. All right, the quote number 3. Who said this? Who said, go west, young man? What famous American said that? Go west. I'm trying to picture out which one. Go west, young man. All right. The 4th quote. Who said, what famous American said, the buck stops here? I hope he meant that. I think he did. But what famous American said, this is number 4, the buck stops here? All right. Quote number 5. Who said this? Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. It was a very famous speech. What famous American said that line? Number 5, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. I remember when he said that. Okay. Which gives you a clue. All right. Question number 6, or quote number 6. Who said, what famous American said, give me liberty or give me death? That's a good quote. What famous American said that? That's number 6. Give me liberty or give me death. Famous American. You probably have to think back to American history on that one. All right. Quote number 7. Who said this? Read my lips. No new taxes. Remember when he said that? And then he didn't mean it. I'm sorry. So who said that? That's number 7. Who said, read my lips. No new taxes. That's number 7. Okay. Number 8. You're going to love this one. Number 8. What famous American said, I am not a crook? Write his name down. That's number 8. What famous American said, I am not a crook. I don't remember him saying that, but all right. Number 9. This is the quote. Who said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand"? What famous American said that? A house divided against itself cannot stand. That's number 9. Who said that? And our last one, number 10, quote. Who said this famous line? What famous American said, "I have a dream"? He said a lot more than that, but what famous American is credited with saying that line? I have a dream. That's a famous, who knew? 10 famous things. Okay, so that's our quotes. Let's go back and review. Hopefully you wrote down all those names. Question number 1, who said one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind? Of course, that was Neil Armstrong back in 1969 when he walked on the moon. All right, so Neil Armstrong was the answer to number 1. Number 2, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Classic quote from Franklin Roosevelt during World War II. So Franklin Roosevelt is the answer to number 2. Number 3, this was a harder one. I thought this was the hardest one on the list. Who said, "Go west, young man"? It's a newspaper guy. Horace Greeley was the famous American who said, "Go west, young man." All right, question number 4. What famous American said, "The buck stops here"? That was Harry Truman. I hope the buck did stop there, Harry. Anyway, Harry Truman said, "The buck stops here." Number 5, what famous American said, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall"? That was Ronald Reagan. He was standing on the Berlin Wall doing that. So Ronald Reagan is the answer to number 5. Number 6, who said, "Give me liberty or give me death"? You have to go clear back to the Revolution for that one. So that was Patrick Henry. That might have been another hard one with Horace Greeley, but Patrick Henry is the one who said, "Give me liberty or give me death." All right, number 7, who said, "Read my lips, no new taxes"? That was George Bush Sr. I was pretty young. I don't even think I was paying taxes at that time. But anyway, I think there were some new taxes, Mr. Bush. So George Bush Sr. was the answer to number 7. Number 8, who said, "I am not a crook"? You remember when Richard Nixon said, "I am not a crook." So Richard Nixon is the answer to number 8. Number 9, a house divided against itself cannot stand. Classic Civil War. That was Abraham Lincoln who said that. I don't know in what speech he said that, but that quote is attributed to Abraham Lincoln. And then the last one, easy one. What famous American said, "I have a dream"? Of course, that was Martin Luther King Jr. So that is our 10 quotes. A little bit different method of doing it there. So we are on our last round of 10 questions. Round 4, they're right here. I'm going to give them to you. So question number 1, round 4. Apiology is the study of what? Apiology is the study of what? The scientific study of what? Apiology. It's spelled A-P-I-O-L-O-G-Y. Apiology. That's question 1. All right, question number 2. Traditionally, which companies are called the big 3 when you're talking about cars in America? So question number 2. Traditionally, which companies are called the big 3 when we're talking about cars in the USA? Who are the big 3? What are the big 3 companies? That's question number 2. All right, so write those down. Question number 3. Which 2 countries share the longest or the largest international border? So what 2 countries share the largest international border? That's question number 3. Question number 4. What do we call a female donkey? A girl. You can write that down if you want. All right, so question number 4. What do we call a female donkey? She has a specific name. All right. Question number 5. Which country calls its parliament the Knesset? That's question number 5. Which country calls its parliament the Knesset? That's question 5. Question number 6. Which telescope was launched into space on board a space shuttle in 1990? What was the name of the telescope that they launched into space? It's a famous one, the space telescope. All right, so question number 6. What telescope was launched into space on board the space shuttle in 1990? All right, question number 7. Great Britain fought which country over the Falkland Islands? So you remember the Falkland Islands, when was that? Back in 82 maybe? But Great Britain fought somebody to keep possession of those islands. What country did they fight? That's question number 7. All right. Question number 8. How would you properly address an ambassador? So if you were speaking to the ambassador of Canada, how would you formally, traditionally address them? How were they addressed? That's question number 8. Question number 9. In the NATO phonetic alphabet, the letter Z is represented by what word? So the NATO phonetic alphabet is the one that starts with Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. So what does the letter Z, what word represents the letter Z in the NATO phonetic alphabet? It's not Alpha. It's not Bravo. It's not Charlie. All right, the letter Z is what word? All right, and then number 10. If something is biennial, how often does it occur? That's question number 10. If something is biennial, how often does it occur? That's question 10. All right. I'm sorry. If we do this in person, I can go back and repeat questions for you, but I really can't on the screen. So let's go back and review. Question number 1, I asked, apiology is the study of what? What is an apiary? Apiarians, it's the study of bees and honey making. So bees and beekeeping is apiology. So number 1 is bees. All right, number 2, traditionally, which companies are called the big 3 when we're talking about cars in America? So the big companies would be GM, General Motors, Ford, that's number 2, and Chrysler. It's now Fiat Chrysler, but Chrysler. So GM, Chrysler, and Ford were the big 3 when we talk about car companies. So GM, Ford, and Chrysler were the big 3. All right, question number 3. Which 2 countries share the longest international border? Now this is tricky because you usually think Russia because it's so huge, but Russia has tons of countries. The longest international border is shared by the US and Canada. We have the longest border with somebody. So the US and Canada share the longest international border. All right, question number 4. What do we call a female donkey? Female donkeys are called jennies, a jenny. If you have anybody that raises donkeys, they're very particular about their jennies. So a female donkey, a jenny. All right, number 5. Which country calls its parliament the Knesset? That would be Israel. Israel has the Knesset, so we know that. All right, number 6. Which telescope was launched into space on board the space shuttle in 1990? Very, very famous telescope, the Hubble telescope was launched into space. I think the Hubble telescope is still sending pictures back to Earth, and it's been like 30 years now, but it's racing towards the edge of the universe, sending pictures. We love that. All right, number 7. Great Britain fought which country over possession of the Falkland Islands? Well, you remember that little dust up there in the South Atlantic in the 80s. Great Britain fought Argentina. Argentina kind of thought they wanted those islands. Great Britain said, I don't think so. So they kept them. All right, so Argentina is the answer to number 7. Number 8, how would you formally address an ambassador? So an ambassador is formally addressed as Your Excellency. I think I want to be an ambassador. Your Excellency is the answer to number 8. All right, number 9. In the NATO phonetic alphabet, the letter Z is represented by what word? And I said it's like Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Tango, all of those. Anyway, the letter Z, you use the word Zulu. You probably thought zebra, that would have been logical, but no, Zulu represents the letter Z. And the last one, number 10, if something is biennial, how often does it occur? If something is biennial, it happens every 2 years. So biennial, 2 years. Okay, that was our final round. Count up the number that you have right or wrong. Make a notation of that. Be sure you have your name on your paper and your apartment number. And if you turn that paper into the front desk or put it in my office, I will give you a prize and a thank you for playing along with us. So happy Trivia Day. And I will be back again next Tuesday with some more semi-challenging questions. Thanks so much.